It is not the critic who counts, not the one who points out how the strong man stumbled or how the doer of deeds might have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred with sweat and dust and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, spends himself in a worthy cause, who, if he wins, knows a triumph of high achievement, who, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. Hello and welcome to today's session, and congratulations on being in the arena, on you actually being in amongst it. You know, there's a lot of people that are on the sidelines and they can be critical about what you're doing, but you are actually in the arena, not only in just being here today, but also in the arena of life, in trying what you want to be doing and getting to where you want to be going. And I really want to congratulate you to being here in this session around how to sell your business to a global company. Now, you may not be here because you want to actually sell it to a global company. However, I know there's something that actually piqued your interest in actually to be watching this right now. And whatever that is, I want to be able to answer that, because there's a lot. I'm just going to be sharing my story with you, and there's a lot in this for anybody to unpack and to implement, whether you're in business, want to grow your business, moving in, thinking about going into business, whatever the phase that you're in. I'm hopeful that you will be able to take something out of today. So whilst the theme is titled How to Sell Your Business to a Global Company, it's certainly by no means just about that. Now, our business that I'm talking to about is a business that we sold 5 years ago in Melbourne, Australia. We're a suburban business, and we got sold into this big global business, right? I mean, how did we do that? We weren't massive. We weren't turning over, we were turning over a couple of mil. We had less than, we had 1,500 clients around Australia. We weren't huge, but we were big enough, but we weren't huge. But we managed to be able to be attractive for this other business that's listed on a stock exchange globally, stock exchange in Europe, and manages over $60 billion globally in funds for clients, in clients' money across 17 countries. So what made that company think, oh, look, here's these nice guys down in Melbourne. We're going to go down and we're going to buy them. What made us attractive to that kind of a group? Usually those guys would come in and buy out one of the big banks or something like that. However, they chose businesses like ours, and they bought a couple of them, about 20 at the time, a smaller business within Australia. So I'm going to share with you a bit of information that hopefully you can take out, and I'm going to share with you some tools as well, and going to share with you a actual key tool that we use to flip our business, and hopefully that you can do the same for yourself. Okay, so this is all free that I'm showing you today, and then I'll give you an indication of what I'm going to be sharing with you the next couple of days. So before we move forward, I am actually, whilst I had a business, I am also in another business as a financial advisor. So anything that I say to you today doesn't take into account your personal situation. Don't take this into being financial advice. Please pause and read this disclaimer if you're watching the recording. So what I'm going to focus on today is 3 key things in the next 15 minutes. We're going to be pretty quick, so keep up. It's going to be focusing on you. Why we're focusing on you, when I know you came here because you wanted to speak about your business, but you are your business in essence. So I'm going to be focusing on you, what you can do, and what I did in our business so that we could be attractive. Then I'm going to look at you, show you a little bit about how you can change your business based on that, and then how you can work with others. So these are 3 key things that we implemented in our business to be able to be brought out. Okay, so it doesn't matter what phase you are in, I'm sure you'll find these things useful. So let's start with you. Why am I starting with you? Well, as Jim Rohn said, work harder on yourself than on your business. Now, Jim Rohn is the guru for people like Tony Robbins. He's an absolute master in terms of personal development. And the philosophy, it really rings true. If you work harder on yourself than you work on your business, then you're able to replicate your business based on the work that you're doing on yourself. Now, it's just like saying, if you think about Roger Federer, the number one tennis player in the world, or Rafael Nadal, it's like them saying, I don't need to practice my backhand because I already know how to do it. They do it religiously every day. Like yourself, you need to work hard on yourself. You can't just turn up to one personal development course and think, oh, yeah, I've done that because I know I need to tick that. That's meant to be something that I'm meant to do. I'm now going to focus on my business, because you'll just get overwhelmed. So what we did was we actually spent a lot of money in this area to prep ourselves up in personal development to be better for sale, right? And then so it comes down to constant personal development is something you need, that mindset you need to have so that you can actually get your business ready, because this is what things that people are looking for, right? When someone comes to buy a business, whether they be a big guy or a peer, they're looking at you, and how you turn up based around the work that you've done in yourself is really, really key. The other one is this. What this does, it allows you to have continuous business learning and adaptation. So you don't get left behind so much. It's not so much that you're keeping up, but you're actually at the forefront. So having this kind of approach allowed us to actually take on board things that other people weren't doing in our industry, and do it in a way that actually reflected in the client value proposition, and also hence our value. So really, really important. But the thing is that if you can do this and know yourself and work harder on yourself, and you can actually, be learning, you need to also be able to rapidly change and rapidly implement new client services and products. And this could be just because you're going out for a pitch for a big deal. It might be that a client says, well, I've got this new thing that I've got to do. You need to learn how to change to that. But you need to also do that in a way that's congruent with you and your business. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to deliver. So this is really, really crucial. And it's so, so important that I'm going to share with you how we developed this one simple tool and implemented this right throughout our business so that it actually impacted our clients and our revenue. And, it's all very well having all these things, but it's important to also know where you're going, and you need to have some kind of framework. So we created a framework around this, and it's one that I actually use at the moment for consulting to businesses and personal consulting, and a little bit in the financial planning side. And it's really simple as this. It's if you get your personal alignment with business alignment across 4 key steps. I'm not going to go into all of these. I just want to show you that there actually is a process that we use. So you need to develop your own process when you're implementing things. So effectively understanding your personal value proposition, which is the one thing that I was talking about just beforehand, and as a starting block, so that you know how to implement that in a way that's not too wishy-washy, but also reflects throughout your business. So I'm not gonna go through the other ones today. I just wanted to show you that this exists. But I am going to share with you the personal value proposition piece and how to create one. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I truly believe that if I didn't have this personal value proposition implemented into the business as a client value proposition, then we would not have been bought by the global business. It's that simple. It's that crucial. I could have had all these other things going well for me, but if I didn't have this one thing, then and the way that it was reflected throughout and changed and transformed our business, then we would not have been bought out by a global business. So listen up. I'm going to share with you this little simple tool, and this is something I use with all my current clients that I consult to. So you're getting the laydown here like they do. Okay, so your personal value proposition is really made up of 3 things. I'm going to show you what they are. I'm going to show you how to create one, and then I'll show you mine. Okay, so no holds barred in this one. Your value proposition is the impact that you have on others. So if you think that you have a business that does X, Y, and Z, the reason why you have a reputation in your business is because of the impact that you have on others, not just on their business, but on other people as a person. So when you're dealing with people and they say, oh, yeah, you need to speak to Jason, then that immediately has an impact on somebody when they're speaking about you. And that also ripples through in terms of the reputation that you have and also in your business. Now, that reputation is key when you're looking to be sold by, when you're looking to sell your business or to be bought out by an international business, because when they go through the due diligence, then they're looking at things, your reputation and the testimonials that you have with others is something they actually take quite seriously. And they do a lot of work behind the scenes. And if they have one phone call that says, look, I know he does a lot of money, but I wouldn't trust the guy. Then there goes your whole deal. So your value proposition that's why this is so important. So then once you have so when I'm talking about your impact on others being really important, the way that you measure that is down to 3 things. It's understanding what your services are, and then which really is what you do for other people, what provide you professionally, you personally as well. And then the image that you want to have. So how you want to be portrayed. So that when they think about you, what is it that they think about in their mind? Because when they think about you, they think about their business, your business. And then when they think about your business, they also think about you. So they're intertwined. So think about that, the services you're providing and the image that you want for your business, and then the relationships that you create. So this is the relationships that you want to have with others. What sort of type of business person do you want to be? What sort of business person do you want others to feel, to think about you? So there's no right or wrong. You don't have to be, the lovely guy, but you don't have to be the prick. I mean, there's no right or wrong. It's whatever suits you. And that's the most important thing. So once you understand what these are, and what all we do is we just workshop this. So you can write this down right now so that you can workshop this on your own, understanding what your services are, your images, and your relationship. Then all that you do is put that on a template so that your personal value proposition is pretty succinct. And then what I like to do is I have my personal value proposition equaling my client value proposition. And I'll get into why that's important in a moment. So in here, just an example, we have the services. So list down all your services that you know that are important for you as a business. If you do this personally, I do this as a personal value proposition. You write down what I do for other people personally, write down the image that you want to be portrayed at and the relationship. Then you add all these together, and this comes to being the impact that you have on others, the reputation, the reason why you get referrals, the reason why people ring you up and say, well, you need to speak to you, and why the business comes through the door, and then why you eventually get bought out. And then the impact that you have on others comes down, and you workshop this, and you come down with 3 kind of words, and then you expand those out. And then these 3 words come up into here, and these are the 3 words of your value proposition that then become your statement, your mission statement. So if you think through this, if you have done this work on yourself, if you're congruent and you know what your personal value proposition is and where you stand, then it's easy for you to translate that into a client value proposition in your business. And that's really, really crucial, because as a business owner, the way that you behave in your business, this is what actually people see, and that's what that reflects on. So when they think about your business, they think about you. So if you can get your value propositions, if you know what they are, and you know how to implement that into your business, then you are basically living your business. And if you can do that in a way that's actually congruent and you're really happy with, and you're comfortable, and you're having an impact on others the way that you want to, then you become an attractive business. Then you get people not only coming to you for business, but you get people like that global business that bought us out coming in saying, hey, you guys are great. I can see you doing all this good stuff here, but there's a qualitative things that I'm just not sure where that comes from, but I really like these guys. And this is why. So this is the number one thing that we did in our business that changed it. Not only the business, but changed how we behaved and acted to clients, and also made us a lot more attractive. Now, what you do with this is then, so for example, here's an example of my personal value proposition. For me, it's value. My words are respect, leadership, and value creator. So I feel when people deal with me, I want them to feel like they've been respected. They have peace of mind. They've sought expert counsel. This guy knows what he's talking about. He listens to me. I want them to feel like they're secure and supported through my leadership. And value creation is really big for me. So what that means is ability to create something and make them see things that they hadn't seen before. So they walk away and think, oh, wow, I'd never thought about it like that before. So these 3 things for me are what actually I implemented in the business, and it came up with my slogan, something from nothing, which is creating businesses. And then so that was for me. And then I implemented that. So how did I go from doing this stuff, kind of wishy-washy out there in the business world on me personally? How did I do this and then translate this into the business world? Well, quite simply, you just do the same thing with your business, right? And you sit down, you have a hard conversation, heart to heart, with your business partners, and you go through the same process. So my last bit, the business that we sold, we transferred this down. The business's name was Empowered Financial Partners. And Empowered Financial Partners really encapsulated the value propositions in here of my value creation and respect for others, and also as well as my business partners did the same thing. My current business that I'm in at the moment as a financial advisor is Collins Financial Planning, Collins & Co. We've got a couple of 4,000 clients around the country. But what I want to show you here is I went through the same process here with this business so that we could come up with our own value proposition for clients. And our mantra that we came up with was live life on your own terms, because we have a lot of business clients, business owners like yourself, really just want to live life on their own terms. So I'm marrying up my respect, leadership, and value creation with living life, helping others live life on their own terms. And that's the way that you get congruency within your business and in your value and your values. Now, I can't overstate this enough. If you are not living your values within your business, you are going to be highly stressed and you're not going to be going to where you want to be going. You're going to be doing things you don't want to be doing in your business. You're going to be going home and you're going to be taking it out on your family maybe. And you're going to be just so stressed and worrying about other things. So you need to be really, really strong in your positioning and where you stand. And doing this exercise is one of the best ways. Now, how do we take this, lovely, touchy-feely, wishy-washy thing into actually something congruent within your business? Well, that's the key next step, which is really, really, this is the nitty-gritty. So this is where you just implement it into your, what I call, or you might call also, your client experience. So your client experience needs to reflect your values. And you need to do this at every touch point. From the moment that they get referred to you and you need to give them a call and you send them a follow-up email, right through to, you've done business and ongoing follow-up and check-ins. So there's this massive, massive client experience that people just put down as process 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but they don't put any qualitative overlay under with that. And that's where you might have a process that you implement in your business, which just doesn't really feel right, and therefore you're not really getting any value out of it, and you don't do it. So what do I mean by actually doing it within your business? I mean actually getting to the nitty-gritty. So things like this. Now, I'm not going to have to go through all of this, but just as an example, in here, this is our client experience process at the moment in our financial planning business. You can see here, once we've received a referral, there's a process, sending a confirmation email, et cetera, right through ongoing. And each one of these things, there's careful work done that when the referral is received, we're making sure that the business owner or the person that we've been referred to us is feeling like they're living life on their own terms. When we have a meeting with them, they're feeling like they're living life on their own terms. Right through when we do a plan, et cetera, and an ongoing relationship. So that's how you get congruency within your business with your values. Now, once that's in place, then you're able to scale because you've got the tools in place that you need to be able to get to where you want to go, right? But what you do need, the other thing that I'll give you before we wrap up in the next couple of minutes, is that not only do you need to get that in place and other tools, systems, etc., but you need to have the right team in place. Now, in his book, here, Keith Ferrazzi, this author went over to the US, went to Silicon Valley, interviewed billionaires, and I was fortunate enough to go to Stanford a couple of times as well. I met a few billionaire VCs as part when I had my last business, and I can tell you that the one thing that people put their success to was the teams that they created. So, and the people that they surrounded themselves with. Now, in his book, Never Eat Alone, where he actually interviewed more billionaires than I met, he said success in life is the people you meet plus what you create together. And so you can actually, so think about this. You can have a great idea. You can have all this funding. You can have lots of different awesome, really cool systems and processes. But if you're not implementing something that you believe in that's not congruent with your values and how you view the world, and then you go in then and you've got that mumble jumble system, then you go and meet these other people over here with these other ideas on life and other values that they don't know about, and you all come together, that's just chaos. That is just business chaos. And I've been in that situation and it has not been fun. And it was one of the reasons, where at the end of the day, that business, when we sold it was great, but then we just sort of didn't quite get back in together and realign. And it just led to a lot of stress. So I'll get into that in another session. But unless you have that across all your business, you're not going to be humming. You look at all the successful people out there. Look at Afterpay. I mean, look at that business model. I mean, they're just lending people money on credit cards and they floated for 30 bill, but they've got a great team and those guys are aligned in whatever their values are. You might not agree with it, but those guys are living to their values. So once you've done this and you've got your values, you've got your right team, then that allows you the last piece, which I was telling you about, which was always be evolving. So I've got a couple of minutes left. I know I'm going over slightly. So always be evolving. Now, as Steve Jobs says, you can't just ask customers what they want and then try to give that to them. By the time you've built it, they want something new. People are always evolving. There's so much, change is going on at the moment at a rapid pace, not only in technology, just in life in general. Obviously, with everything else going on in the world, there's just stress, and change. So you need to be flexible in your business to have a solid foundation around your values, systems, but also tweak and create new products and offerings to your clients, services that can be implemented regardless of the compliance regime. So I'm an advisor. Don't speak to me about compliance. That is number one thing we've got to do, but we've got to be adaptable, right? So utilize technology, whatever it is. Be really quick in uptake. We did recordings. We actually use the PDFs on the tablets. Embrace new concepts and invest in the business. We invested over $200,000 in a system in our business to create more value to clients that was unknown within Australia. Not many people did it. Went over to the US about 12 times to learn and study this process, but we invested in the business. And these are the sorts of things that actually helped us be attractive to a global company. So I guess in rounding out today's session, how do you sell your business to a global company? The number one thing you need to do is to be attractive to a global company. And they are attracted in more than just the numbers. The numbers, they're kind of like, they have to be there. That's just number one. But they have so much due diligence that they go through, not just on your numbers, but on your personality. You got to meet lots of different people. And I'm not just talking about global businesses. I'm talking about any sale of your business or acquisition. So whether you're looking to sell or not, these practices are really good to get inside into your business because they help you go to next level. They attract more clients, and they just give you a better life because you're loving what you're doing. All right. So I've talked today about how it's really about yourself. It's that personal leadership, personal development, leading from the front. If you're grumpy in the office, the staff are grumpy. You're grumpy in the office, you're grumpy at home. Okay. One or the other at least, or, ideally happy at home, happy at the office. So personal leadership is really, really important. Have a business that replicates your values because otherwise you're just on the treadmill. You just got a job that you don't really enjoy doing. Really work hard to understand your values and then replicate them in your business through systems and processes. Have the right team around you so that you can on the same wavelength, on the same journey, on the same, with the same values that you're trying to and goals that you want to hit. And this allows you to be adaptable. And when you're adaptable, then you can also invest in your business and then make the right changes that you need to. All right, so that's all I have for today session. As I said, I'm going to be doing 3 of these today at 12 o'clock, tomorrow, and then on the next day. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking into a little bit more around what I'm going to bypass these things in here. I'm going to be bypassing these things. I'm going to talk about the actual strategy map that we use. I'm going to give you another tool to utilize within your kit bag on how you can create a strategy that makes you saleable to a business that you can just pull out. It's a strategy map on a page. I'm going to give you that so that you can align that with your values, and you're going to have some pretty awesome tools for free. Okay. Then on the third day, I'm going to introduce you the program that you can utilize to help bring this all together that we do, and we can help you take it even to a further next level. So I hope you got value out of today. I'm sure you did. There's a lot in there to unpack. Ask questions, drop me a line, put a note in the chat, go into the message, wherever you're watching this from. I've got this on a couple of different platforms. So wherever you are watching it from, just drop us a note, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, guys. And take care. Enjoy the rest of the day. Get out there, wherever you're watching this from the world, whether it be live or the recording. Have a great day.